Hello. So I think YouTube changed something, and there used to be this you could set up the stream, but it wasn't live until you hit a button. And apparently that's gone now because I've accidentally started the stream when I wasn't ready twice tonight. So, good times. Hope you enjoyed the behind the scenes view of me propping my laptop up on books to get a better angle. Thanks so much. Glad you liked this show. It was really fun. Obviously, it wasn't perfect. But what can you do? We definitely have some things to improve on for our next one. And I was really excited about the programs we picked and the way the pacing of the show went for the first episode. And yeah, so now trying to repeat that, I feel some pressure. Also, there's like 95 programs that I want to make everyone watch. So what to do first? All right. Some of us just got off a video conference call with different members of skating media, talking about season and what we can do to pivot and to keep creating content. Ideas like our trivia thing, and there's a really fun 31 days of skating thing that is on anything GOE's. I always say anything goes, which I know is like a play on the thing, but I wasn't sure how to pronounce it. But now I know because I met Sarah. So on the Anything GOE's Twitter, for sure. I'm not sure if they have it somewhere else, but there's like a 31 days of figure skating chart, and you can like pick a program or a skater for each day, different topics. So that's super fun. If you haven't registered yet, you can use the link below to register. That just gives us the team name that you're going to use. You can use your real name, you can use a team name, whatever you want. Just make sure you use the same name each round. And on this week's registration link, we have a box for you to put if you have an idea for upcoming themes. I didn't feel super inspired to put together a theme, so tonight's trivia is just a random smorgasbord, if you will. And yeah, if you're new, I think there might be a couple new people tonight. We'll go over the rules and get started in just a couple of minutes. So how's our Canadians, I think, had a long weekend. Some provinces, maybe not all. I took a long weekend too. I mean, I don't really have a schedule, but my husband took 2 days off because he worked through the weekend a couple weeks ago. So he took off yesterday and today. So it was nice to have a little extra downtime. We finished watching The West Wing for the second or third time all the way through together. It's one of our favorite shows. Kind of hard to watch right now. I feel like President Bartlett would have had a much better handle on a pandemic. But yeah, it was nice to have some time off, or more relaxing time, I guess. We went for a walk yesterday. We got lobsters. We made lobsters for dinner last night. And today I made lobster stock out of the shells. So, considering getting like a deep chest freezer, because right now our tiny little freezer on the top of our fridge is full of about 20 Ziploc bags of chicken stock and now lobster stock. So if I'm going to keep up this stock habit, I'm going to need a place to store it. Crazy skating news today. The ISU is going to attempt to hold some kind of Grand Prix, although their statement was a little light on details. But if you haven't seen the news, I'm sure most of you have, because if you're playing Ice Dance Trivia with us on a Tuesday night on YouTube, you're probably pretty plugged into the skating world. But yeah, the gist is that the 6 scheduled Grand Prix events will go ahead as scheduled, although they will be different. Skaters will only get to do one, either in the country that they're from, and or train in, and or is open to having them travel to it. So I think it creates some interesting events. For example, the Russian ladies, will just be like another variation on nationals. Skate Canada dance obviously will be pretty baller, but some of the other dance events might be a little light. For example, Japan, not too many Japanese dance teams to begin with. And I think only one senior level team trains part-time in Japan. So, all right, let's get started. Thanks for joining us. Welcome to IDC Trivia Challenge number 9. How this works, teams are great. Feel free to play in a team if you would like. If you do play in a team, we ask that you keep the teams to 6 people or less. You will use the Google form in the description below the video to submit answers after each round. So for the new people, there's a different form for each round. Make sure you use the same team name at the top of the form each time, and you'll submit the answers at the end of each round. If you're playing on a team, just designate one person to submit answers per team. We will play 3 rounds plus a final question that's a little more involved. The rounds are general trivia, music-themed trivia, and picture IDs. No points lost for wrong answers until the final question, so feel free to guess until we get to the very end, and I'll remind you about the strategy for that once we get to the final question. And when you're identifying teams, just using last names are fine. You don't have to use first names. Spelling doesn't count as long as our scorekeeper, the wonderful Daphne, knows who you're talking about. In certain cases, if you really, really can't spell the last name, first names are fine too, but we do prefer last names. And finally, this is just for fun, so don't cheat, don't look up answers. There's, no high stakes writing on this. So, let's get started with round 1. General trivia questions. There will be 6 questions, and they're worth 6 points each. So, round 1, question 1. How many times have the Shibutanis medaled at the World Championships? I will give you about a minute and some change between each question. And then you'll have another few minutes at the end of the round. So if you need to take a screenshot or jot down a note or something so you can come back to a question and think about it later, make sure you do that as needed. Question number 2. Which team ranked first in the 2019-20 ISU Challenger Series standings? They have ranked within the top 3 every year since the Challenger Series began. Which team ranked first in the 2019-20 ISU Challenger Series standings? They have ranked within the top 3 every year since the Challenger Series began. Question 3. Which city hosts an annual senior level competition in early December? This city has bid for the World Championships, but has never hosted that event. They have hosted Europeans 4 times, most recently in 2013. Which city hosts an annual senior level competition in early December? This city has bid for the World Championships, but has never hosted the event. They have hosted Europeans 4 times, most recently in 2013. Question 4. Which Australian ice dancer was in contention for a 2014 Olympic spot in the ladies discipline before following in her mother's footsteps and switching to ice dance? Which Australian ice dancer was in contention for a 2014 Olympic spot in the ladies discipline before following in her mother's footsteps and switching to ice dance? Moving on to question 5. Who is Skate Canada's Senior Director of Performance Excellence? He is a former ice dancer that finished as high as 5th at the Canadian Championships and retired from the sport in 2004. He is most well known for his choreography in the past decade, which has included work for several Canadian dance teams and a few noteworthy Paris programs, including Kane and O'Shea's Swan Lake and Seguin and Bilodeau's Grand Budapest Hotel. Who is Skate Canada's Senior Director of Performance Excellence? He is a former ice dancer that finished as high as 5th at the Canadian Championships and retired from the sport in 2004. He is most well known for his choreography in the past decade, which has included work for several Canadian dance teams and a few noteworthy Paris programs, including Kane and O'Shea's Swan Lake and Seguin and Bilodeau's Grand Budapest Hotel. And moving on to question 6. Name the year. For the new people, this is a calendar year that you'll be naming, not a season. So just like one 4-digit year. I'll give you 4 facts. All of these things occurred during the same calendar year. Name the year. The Four Continents Championship was held in Hamilton, Ontario. Matthews and Zavazin won their first U.S. junior title and went on to medal at the World Junior Championships. The French Grand Prix acquired a new sponsor and was renamed Trophée Eric Bompard, previously from Trophée Lalique. And Canadian junior ice dancer Natalie D'Alessandro was born. Name the year. The Four Continents Championship was held in Hamilton, Ontario. Matthews and Zavazin won their first U.S. junior title and went on to medal at the World Junior Championships. The French Grand Prix acquired a new sponsor and was renamed Trophée Eric Bompard from Trophée Lalique. And Canadian junior ice dancer Natalie D'Alessandro was born. All right, it's time to submit your answers. I'll give you about 3 more minutes to ponder and or confer with teammates. Make sure you use the round 1 Google form. I'll warn you at about a minute left. All right, just about another minute. That's time. Go ahead and submit if you haven't done so yet, although it looks like we've got just about everyone in. So let's move on and go over the answers. Question 1. How many times have the Shibutanis medaled at the World Championships? 3 medals. 2011, their surprise, and then it took them a while to get back to the podium, 2016 and 2017. Question number 2. Which team ranked first in the 2019-20 ISU Challenger Series standings? They have ranked within the top 3 every year since the Challenger Series began. And that would be Italians Charlene Quignard and Marco Fabbri. Just super crazy about the Challenger Series. Question number 3. Which city hosts an annual senior level competition in early December? The city has bid for the award of that event. They have hosted Europeans 4 times, most recently in 2013. And that city is Zagreb, Croatia. The competition is the Golden Spin of Zagreb. Question number 4. Which Australian ice dancer was in contention for a 2014 Olympic spot in the ladies discipline before following in her mother's footsteps and switching to ice dance? And that would be Chantel Carey. Her mother, Monica McDonald, was an Olympian in ice dance. Sorry, I can't speak today. Question number 5. What? I feel like 5 is always a really long, drawn-out question. Who is Skate Canada's Senior Director of Performance Excellence? He is a former ice dancer that finished as high as 5th at the Canadian Championships and retired from the sport in 2004. He is most well known for his choreography in the past decade, which has included work for several Canadian dance teams and a few noteworthy Paris programs, including Kanan O'Shea's Swan Lake and Seguin and Bilodeau's Grand Budapest Hotel. And that would be the super underrated Shea Zakuski. If you watched our episode 1 of Ice Dance Rewind, the final program that we discussed was one of Shea's. And I just love most of the programs he's done. And I'm assuming his role at Skate Canada means he's not choreographing anymore, and that breaks my heart a little. And finally, question 6, name the year. The Four Continents Championship was held in Hamilton, Ontario. Fun fact, that was my first competition that I attended live. Matthews and Zavazin won their first U.S. junior title and went on to medal at the World Junior Championships. The French Grand Prix acquired a new sponsor and was renamed Trophée Eric Bompard from Trophée Lalique. And Canadian junior ice dancer Natalie D'Alessandro was born. So I came to the really harsh realization today that for as long as I've been actively going to skating competitions, some of the junior competitors now weren't even born when I started doing that, which made me feel super old. Anyway, that year was 2004. Okay. So moving on to round 2, music identification. There will be 6 questions, also 6 points each. No audio clips this week. If you joined us in the past, we were doing audio clips during this round, but technical issues have abounded. 6 questions. There'll be music or program identifications. You'll name the team, the music, or the artist, depending on the question. So round 2, question 1. Which British alternative or progressive rock band's music is commonly used in skating? Ice dancers that have skated to their songs include Crinkrired and Giletti Schmidt, Zagorski and Guerrero, and Carrera and Ponmarenko. Work to this music by skaters in other disciplines include programs from Jeremy Abbott, Evgenia Medvedeva, and Duhamel and Radford. Which British alternative progressive rock band's music is commonly used in skating? Ice dancers that have skated to their songs include Crinkrired and Giletti Schmidt, Zagorski and Guerrero, and Carrera and Ponmarenko. Work to this music by skaters in other disciplines include programs from Jeremy Abbott, Evgenia Medvedeva, and Duhamel and Radford. So name the band. Moving on to question 2. The song To Build a Home by the Cinematic Orchestra is from 2007, but it became a warhorse of figure skating just in the past few years, after a free dance from which team in the 2015-16 season? The song To Build a Home by the Cinematic Orchestra is from 2007, but it became a warhorse of figure skating just in the past few years, after a free dance from which team in the 2015-16 season? Moving on to question 3. Which blues rock song from the 1970s did Naomi Lang and Peter Chernyshев skate to in the 2001-02 season? This free dance was adapted from an exhibition number. Which blues rock song from the 1970s did Naomi Lang and Peter Chernyshев skate to in the 2001-02 season? This free dance was adapted from an exhibition number. Question number 4. Which world-level senior team skated to Justin Timberlake's Cry Me a River in the free dance in the following seasons? So this one on the answer sheet, there's a 4A and a 4B. 4A, the 2019-20 season, and 4B, the 2004-05 season. Which world-level senior teams skated to Justin Timberlake's Cry Me a River in the free dance in the following seasons? A, 2019-20, and B, 2004-05. Oh, and this one is 3 points for each team. Question number 5. Which team skated a free dance in tribute to Dennis Ten, set to the song SOS d'un Terrien en détresse, which was the same music that he used for his final free skate? Which team skated a free dance in tribute to Dennis Ten, set to the song SOS d'un Terrien en détresse, which was the same music that he used for his final free skate? And final question this round, number 6. Which film score did Isabel Delabelle and Olivier Schoenfelder use for their free dance when they won the world title in 2008? Which film score did Isabel Delabelle and Olivier Schoenfelder use for their free dance when they won the world title in 2008? All right, it's time to think about your final answers for round 2. I'll give you about 3 minutes to continue pondering or conferring with teammates. Make sure you use the round 2 link in the description below. Make sure you use the same team name at the top of the form. And submit whenever you're ready. About a minute left. All right, go ahead and get those submissions in. I'm gonna check. Looks like like everyone is in. Great. Okay, answers for round 2. Question 1. Which British alternative progressive rock band's music is commonly used in skating? Ice dancers that have skated to their songs include Krinkrired and Giuletti Schmidt, Zagorski and Guerrero, and Carrera and Ponomarenko. Work to this music by skaters in other disciplines include programs from Jeremy Abbott, Evgenia Medvedeva, and Duhamel and Radford. I think everyone got this right. It is, of course, the band Muse. And is it a law that you have to skate to Muse wearing purple? I think it's pretty close. Anyway. The song To Build a Home, question 2. The song To Build a Home by the Cinematic Orchestra is from 2007, but it became a warhorse of figure skating just in the past few years after a free dance from which team in the 2015-16 season? I decided to write this question because my husband and I may or may not be building a home. I think our offer was kind of accepted for some land today. So, anyway. And that was, of course, Gabriela Papadakis and Guillaume Cizeron with their Build a Home free dance. Maybe I can ask them for some tips. Question number 3. Which blues rock song from the 1970s did Naomi Lang and Peter Chernyshев skate to in the 2001-02 season? This free dance was adapted from an exhibition number. And that song was Parisian Walkways by Gary Moore. I rewatched that program when I decided to write this question. And there were some things in it that were really pretty fun that I didn't remember from the time. So, question number 4. Which world level senior teams skated to Justin Timberlake's Cry Me a River in the free dance in the following seasons? Question A, from this past season, that was Stepanova and Bukin. And part B, from the 2004-05 season, that was Sinead and John Kerr. More Justin Timberlake in competitive skating is what I always say. Question number 5. Which team skated a free dance in tribute to Dennis Ten, set to the song SOS d'un Terrien en Détresse, which was the same music that he used for his final free skate? And that was Caitlin Weaver and Andrew Poget. And question 6. Which film score did Isabelle Delobel and Olivier Schoenfelder use for their free dance when they won the world title in 2008? And that film was The Piano. Okay, score update. Yes, thanks guys. I don't even know what to think because it's all so overwhelming. But we're trying to fit the pieces together and make sure that we can get a builder that we like to agree to build on it. All right, scores so far. In first place, with a perfect score of 72 points, we have Tango Platonica. Still one of my favorite names for sure. In second place, close behind with 69 points, the Ladies Caliph. In third place with 63 points, Maybelle. Tied for fourth with 54 points, Figure Skaters Online and Amanda. Tied with 51 points, the Kazakova Revia Fan Club and Debbie S. 51 points. Tied with 45 points, Anita and TJ the Twizzler. With 36 points, Linda Loves Twizzles. And Skate Guard Blog but has 18 points, but that was Ryan, and he said he had to leave after round 1. So, nice job, everyone. And moving on to round 3. Picture IDs. There will be 6 photos, 6 points each. You'll see the photos one at a time at first with the faces blurred, and then at the end All 6 will be together on the screen. The season will be given. You'll name the team. And I promise there's no compulsories because those costumes used to get passed around a lot. All right, so round 3, photo number 1. From this past season, 2019 to 20, name the team. All right, photo number 2 from the 2016-17 season. Photo number 3 from the 2004-05 season. And photo number 4 from the 2017-18 season. And photo number 5 from the 1997-98 season. Throwback. And photo number 6 from the 2009-10 season. All right, about 3 minutes. To submit your answers, make sure you use the round 3 submission form in the description and use the same team name at the top. About a minute left. All right, it is time to submit. And you guys are very prompt today. So let's go over the answers. Photo number 1 from this past season. I guess I can start saying last season now, but I never got the closure that I needed. This was Caroline Soucis and Shane Ferris from Canada. Their rhythm dance. Photo number 2 from the 2016-17 season. This was Olivia Smart and Adrienne Diaz. Their Proud Mary, I guess then it was a short dance. I always feel like I have to think very carefully to pick the right term between original, short, rhythm, dance. Anyway, fun program. Photo number 3 from the 2004-05 season. Bit of a throwback to Tanith Belbin and Ben Augusto's Gypsy free dance. Photo number 4 from the 2017-18 season. This was the short dance from Anna Cappellini and Luca Lanote in her perfect magenta dress, my favorite color. Photo number 5 from the 1997-98 season. This was, I had to like double blur these because her hair was still so bright on the first blur. This was, of course, Marina Anacina and Gwendal Pezera. Photo number 6 from the 2009-10 season. This was a fun original dance from Ekaterina Bobrova and Dmitry Soloviev. All right, we're going to do our score update before the final round. Okay, it looks like scores are ready. Holding steady with still a perfect score of 108 points. Tango Platonica, killing it today. Tied for second with 99 points. The ladies, Khalif and Maybelle in, I guess that makes it 4th place with 87 points. The Kazakova Revia Fan Club. Right behind with 84 points, Amanda. Tied at 75 points, Debbie S. and TJ the Twizzler. Right behind with 72 points, Figure Skaters Online. 63 points, we have Anita. And with 54 points, we have Linda Loves Twizzles. All right. And now here we are at the final question. So to refresh your memories, the final question will have multiple answers. You'll get 2 points for every correct answer, but we will subtract 1 point for every wrong answer or incorrect guess. So the final question. Since 2000, the year 2000, which teams have, and including the year 2000, which teams have won NHK Trophy more than once? Since the year 2000 and including the year 2000, which teams have won NHK Trophy more than once? And I will give you 5 minutes for that one. About 3 minutes left. About a minute left. All right, go ahead and submit. Make sure you use the final round form, yada yada. We will go over the answers in just a moment. This question was a bit random. I was really having trouble thinking of a final question that I wanted to use. I kind of researched a few different ones, and there were only like 3 answers, and I thought there would have been like 6 or 7, so I didn't want to use one that only had 3 answers. And yeah, it was like 2 o'clock this afternoon, and I still hadn't quite come up with a question, and that's how we got here. All right, so the answers. Since 2000, which teams have won NHK Trophy more than once? That would be Anacina and Pesara. I think they won it 4 times, actually, but it was only twice since 2000 because they won 2000 and 2001, I believe. Davis and White won several, 3 or 4, I think. Denkova and Stavisky won it twice. Dubré and Lausanne won it twice. The Shibutanis won it twice, I think, also twice. And Virtue and Moyer won it twice. And that's it. So thanks for playing. We will have scores very soon. Since there weren't sometimes I, pick questions with like 12 different answers. Those take a little longer to score. So thanks for coming out and playing with us again. So many of you that come every week or multiple weeks, or well, every time, I guess. I think we're all ready. All right, so final answers. Or final scores. I don't think anyone got Denkova and Stavisky for that last one. So no one totally aced the final question this time. But we had several people who got 5 teams right, including our winners. They started in the lead and never looked back. With 118 points, we have Tango Platonica, gold medal. The silver goes to Maybell with 109 points. In bronze medal position with 105 points, we have the ladies' Khalif. Pewter medal, 94 points, Amanda. I don't know what the 5th place medal is. Maybe bronze or chrome. I was going to say chrome. Or brushed nickel. If you are ever going to redo your kitchen or build a new kitchen, brushed nickel is all the rage right now. Anyway, 5th place, 90 points, the Kazakova Revia fan club. With 82 points, Figure Skaters Online. With 80 points, TJ the Twizzler. With 79 points, Debbie S. 65 points, Anita. And 64 points, Linda Loves Twizzles. The potato medal. I love it. Medals for everyone. Medals, medals, medals. Yeah. So thanks for coming out. I think there's some pretty there's some good suggestions in the theme suggestions that we put on the registration. A lot of like music theme ones that I hadn't really thought about. So I think I'll try to pick one of those for next time in about 2 weeks. And until then, stay safe, stay healthy, fingers crossed, stay home as much as you can, and yeah, have a great night. There's no stop button. Where did the stop button go? You guys are gonna have to watch this live feed of my office all night. Still trying to figure out how to end this. This is awkward.